How do you figure that was your money? Because my mother told me it was. Bet you didn't see that coming. Yeah, she told me it was my money. So let's backtrack a little bit. The video that you put this comment on was one where my mother gave me a check for my money and stopped payment on the check and didn't tell me. And then at 17 years old, when all of this was going on and I was writing checks against the check that I had deposited into my account, mostly for food, but I will admit to a shoe purchase, the shit hit the fan and the account got closed and it was a big mess. Where did that money come from? Let's backtrack, shall we? So I ran away at the age of 13 years old because my mother terrorized me every single day of my existence, even when she wasn't in the room with me. Because my grandmother was an alcoholic who was giving me to my grandfather who was emming me. I hope those are all good enough reasons for you. My biological father, who I was very blessed to have a relationship with in my adult life before he passed away, and I had several years with him, was not in my life throughout my childhood. He did, however, pay child support. When I ran away at the age of 13, the child support stopped because I was no longer living with my mother. At 17, social services sent me back to my mother, no questions asked, because I had a little baby girl, my first pancake. And my mother said to me, I don't have money for you, which is a lie. And by the way, I'm 17. I am her legal responsibility. Let's remember that. Baby or not, she's my mother, right? She's supposed to support me till I'm 18. Anywho, you probably won't agree with that. She said to me, you need to sign these documents. It's for the back payments of child support, and you'll be able to use this money to further your education, which she tried to sabotage. I never saw the money for my education. I never saw the money, but for $500 of it, I think, to buy an old beater of a car. And even that, when she gave me my money to do that, to buy the car so that I could work, so that I could provide for, at that point, my children, she made me wait at the bank all day long for approval on cashing the check for that. My ex-husband was with me and he was like, should I drive to where she is and get her to take the phone call from the bank person? She played a whole bunch of mindfuckery that day, and my ex-husband saw it, which was really good for me because it was very validating to have a witness. Anyway, getting back to how was that my money? She convinced me to sign these documents, which would be basically me kind of like suing my father, who I didn't know, who I hoped to someday know. So she was trying to put a nail in the coffin there by telling me that I need that money to take care of myself and my child, and that's what the money was going to be used for. I was no longer living with her, by the way. When I was returned by social services within a week of living in her house, in my old room / now guest room, which it always looked like a guest room anyway, she spent the week in her bedroom locked up. And here I am with a new baby, this granddaughter that she had been showing everyone, oh, look how cute, I love her so much. And then when nobody was around, she didn't engage with my little girl one time. Not once. Zero. My stepfather came in and said, let's talk about this. Like, this isn't going to work for your mom. And I'm like, well, your mother. And I'm like, I haven't seen her. I haven't interacted with her. She hasn't interacted with me. I don't know what's not working. I don't know what is working. I don't know up from down to sideways to anything else. All I know is I was a missing child for 3.5 years. And when my mother got me back, she didn't want me. So, yeah, it was my money.